you. I just want to say I'm a bit overwhelmed by the country, by this, by people. There's no words to it. But nga jilim buku wi kamaro watang ngai watang min tan ligo ngala palmi ngajil ngarungan kakinang bala abulu ngarungaya ka. I just acknowledge the landowners from this country, people, Aranda people, elders past, present and the future. Known to unknown worldview. We know that the world is rapidly changing. Sometimes we can't stop. People can stop it, and sometimes people can't. Sometimes people walk around with a question mark on their head, and that's true. We don't know where it's going to and why. It is very scary when I think about the world. We all come from a different worldview. Within our own community, we have little worldviews in each communities. We all are different. We all think about our worldview differently. Even though it's a little small worldview, but the stories in that world is big. It's infinite. When leaders come and make big changes, it's a quantum leap. When the world is not turning right. Our world is unique. What can we learn from our ancestors to look after the world? We nurture. We embrace. We sustain. We maintain. We celebrate the past, present and the future. We all need to look after our world because world is like a baby when it's born. We nurture our kids. We bring them up. We dress them. We feed them. We take them to school and good education because the world will say goodbye to us one day. We don't know. I want to take you back to my world, Yirrkala. We have been taught in the community Yirritja and Dhuwa. So yellow is Yirritja, Dhuwa is red. And it's like yin and yang. And everything in our world are divided into two worldviews, Yirritja and Dhuwa. All the things that are in the environment, the people, the song, the dance, are either Yirritja or Dhuwa. In a school context, I've been a teacher for 4 decades. We teach our children about Jalki and Goruto. Jalki is literally mean the foot. It could be footsteps or footmark, where people have left their footmarks. But it's also homelands is the Jalki, where people are living now, which is their Jalki, their homeland, where their ancestral being has walked on the land and named every places, everything around their world. I wanted to talk more about United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. It is very important. I teach in a bilingual school, and we started bilingual school in 1974. When we started, we taught our children Yolŋu. It can be father's languages, and Yolŋu also a name Dhuwa, a language that kids have learned when they're born or growing up. Dhuwa. It's like baby gumach. But when they grow up to become woman, man, they have an opportunity to start thinking about talking in their father's language. I was like that. I was talking Dhuwa when I was a little girl. And as growing up, when I left school, I started speaking my father's language. So this is why I wanted to talk about Declaration of Human Rights, because Indigenous children have rights to teach their own languages in their own country or in their own school. That is the right thing that we have, because we are Indigenous, we have language, we have culture, we have songs, we have dance, and that's what determines who we are. I've got a map here. This is where I come from, Yirrkala. It's the tip of the Gulf of Carpentaria. We've got a town nearby called Nulboy, where they mine bauxite, and it's closing down soon. Thank God. They're just destroying all our land, destroying all our sacred sites. Because we have a sacred rock where they put waste from the mine, from the bauxite, and the rock is just sitting right inside the mud. And it's very sacred. This is why we need to be very careful and very wise to think about what are the solutions that we can make together. It's not one person to make a decision. We all need to sit down and make a decision. These are my parents. My father, my biological mother, and one sitting topless, that's my adopted mother. When I was 12, she adopted me and brought me up. They all gone. But I thank these parents, my parents, to bringing me up to this world, but I really treasure them. Missionaries arrived in the 30s, early 30s. They brought Bible, they brought clothes, they brought work, they brought school, and so on. I hear a lot of people say when people from outside come to the community, it can be colonization, but it's also, it has a good part, but it's a bad part. I went to school in the mission days. I didn't perfectly spoke in English, but I did try. This is me when I was in school. I started thinking about what I'm going to do when I leave school. So I wanted to be a teacher librarian, but in the back of my head, I wanted to be a hairdresser. I don't know why, but there was a curiosity about it. But someone told me that I need to become a teacher first, to become teacher librarian. So I went away and did most of my training on site, RATE program. Some people here might know, because there's familiar faces here that I went to bachelor with, which the bachelor offered the training for us. I didn't end up being a teacher librarian, but living in Darwin for 5 years, looking after my husband, coming back home in 2013, I was given a position at the school as teacher linguist. And I see literature production is a very important place, which also reminds me of when I wanted to be a teacher librarian, because everywhere I look around in the LPC is books and resources. Last course that I did was through CDU, and we did a community graduation, which they presented me with Bungul, song and dance. Yirrkala Community School, this is where I worked for 4 decades. It's a bilingual school. We have kids that come from other communities on the bus to our school. And once Nollanboy School was built, some parents wanted to take their children to Nollanboy School. We can't stop that because it's parents' responsibility. We have about 130 kids that attend our school. This is fish trap. Yambirpa. It's called Yambirpa. In a shallow water, not so deep. When the tides come in, it brings all the fish in. And when the tides go out, they can't get out, can't go back to the sea. Yambirpa is the name of our school. That's the metaphor for our school, because we bring our students, Yolŋu children, to Yambirpa School. People that are here that are Indigenous, we all talk about kinship. This is our kinship term. Kurutom. This is the other kinship term that we teach, Kuruto and Jalkari, at the school. It talks about the kinship within the family members, but it goes all the way back intergenerational, Kuruto system. We've got 7 Yinipulu name is looking at the big picture of who our father's clans are, who our mother's clans are, who our grandmother's clans are. So we look back and teach kids Yinipulu. I've got family here that lives in Alice Springs, Amunguna. She's married to my cousin at home, and she's got kids to him. And when she was married to him, she was automatically in the family through him, through the husband. And we and my family are automatically in the family with her. So that's how the Kuruto system works. This is where I talked about Kuruto and Jalkari. Kuruto is kinship, Jalkari is space. When we teach children Jalkari, talking about the land, who the land belongs to, where the boundary finishes. And always the place is placed like Yoto Yindi, Yoto Hindi, Yoto Yindi, and so on. In that relationship, just like people in the family. That's how land is placed. Kuruto and Namba, they overlap. Jalkari and space or location. So the last thing that I wanted to show you, a video of my husband singing, Our Generation. Thank you.
Someone in the city gets a piece of paper. Someone in the bush holds the law in their hands. Last chance for freedom. just fuse in a global nation.
Our generation.
Human rights or indigenous people.
Our generation.
Learning life's lessons of old.